Do you sometimes feel you are losing your head? We've all experienced regret at one time or another, those times when we wish we could rewind and make a different decision. What if I told you that some of the smartest folks from the past knew a way to live without such regrets? It's absolutely true. Ancient philosophers called Stoics, including famous names like Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus, were experts at staying calm and making choices with total clarity and confidence. Today, we're going to deeply explore their world, not just to understand philosophy, but to find useful, practical tips that can change how we handle every day. From dealing with stress and anxiety to making decisions that match our core beliefs, the teachings of Stoicism are not only about knowing history, they're about shaping our future. Stay with us, because you're not just going to learn about these great thinkers, you're going to learn how to apply their ideas to live a happier, no-regrets life. Together, let's tap into the strength of Stoic wisdom, and I promise you'll leave with a set of tools that could really make a difference in your life. And before we start, don't forget to click that subscribe button and stick with us for the whole video, because each part is filled with tips that build on one another, allowing you to fully embrace the powerful lessons of Stoicism to transform your life. Marcus Aurelius dealt with one of the worst pandemics ever known, the Antonine Plague. Instead of panic and disorder, Aurelius chose to stay calm and act thoughtfully. He took practical steps like helping with funeral expenses, adding more soldiers, and even selling his own things to support the army. His actions were guided by clear thinking rather than fear, which is a key part of Stoic philosophy. This part of history shows us a valuable lesson in staying strong and keeping perspective. Stoicism teaches us to recognize recurring patterns in human history. Marcus Aurelius once said, "Reflect on the history of shifting empires that have emerged and faded, and you will be able to predict the future as well." This idea tells us that by understanding history, we can better handle today's problems. The idea that history repeats itself isn't just a saying, but a solid concept that can reassure us. It reminds us that the difficulties we face are not new. Others have gone through similar or the same challenges. When we compare the wise teachings of the Stoics with ideas from other philosophers, we find similar ideas. For example, the Greek philosopher Heraclitus said, "The only thing that remains constant is change." This idea matches the Stoic belief that everything around us is always changing, and what happens to us is just a small part of a big cycle that keeps repeating. Also, Aristotle pointed out, "Anyone who seeks knowledge must endure suffering. Even as we sleep, the pain that lingers in our memory drips steadily onto our hearts. In spite of ourselves, and against our wishes, wisdom is bestowed upon us through the dreadful mercy of the gods." This means that facing difficulties is essential for learning and personal growth. In today's world, we face many challenges, like health emergencies, environmental problems, or big changes in society. These lessons from the past give us strength. Even though today's issues may seem new and daunting, looking back through history shows us many examples of human resilience and flexibility. This view is comforting and empowering. It motivates us to tackle problems with the calm and thoughtful approach that Marcus Aurelius showed. By learning from history, we don't just understand the past better, we also learn how to deal with the future. Marcus Aurelius shows us a great lesson in Stoicism, the need to ignore distractions and concentrate on what really counts, our values and deeds. Stoic teachings help us keep our attention on how we act and who we are, instead of being overwhelmed by others' opinions. It teaches us to focus on what we can control and to let go of what we cannot. As Epictetus once stated, true freedom belongs solely to the educated. This education is not just about school, it's also about learning how to be emotionally independent and wise, even when outside pressures are strong. This Stoic idea of keeping our focus on ourselves and ignoring outside distractions is very important today. It teaches us to avoid being controlled by the common fears and desires that fill public opinion and the news. These outside influences can confuse us and take away from our peace and clarity. By sticking to our own values and focusing on our actions, we can keep a clear direction in life, unaffected by the disorder around us. This idea of blocking out distractions is echoed not only in Stoicism, but in other philosophical thoughts as well. Socrates highlighted the importance of knowing oneself with his saying, "Know yourself." He suggested that real wisdom and peace are achieved by understanding our own true nature, rather than being influenced by what the masses think. In a similar vein, Plato discussed the allegory of the cave, which suggests we should focus on the true reality, rather than the misleading shadows created by society. Embracing this Stoic attitude helps us direct our mental and emotional energy towards things that truly benefit us, building resilience and independence. It teaches us to differentiate between helpful feedback and unnecessary noise. This ability to discern helps us stay true to our values and not be shaken by common, often irrational fears that influence public opinion. By adopting the Stoic practice of tuning out distractions, we can handle the challenges of today's world with more calm and efficiency. We learn to rely on our own judgment and choices, staying true to our path confidently, without being swayed by the confusing and often deceptive noise that tries to lead us astray. This method not only brings us personal peace and clarity, but also allows us to make a more positive impact on those around us, standing strong in our core beliefs and actions. Stoicism shows us that living a fulfilling life is not merely about surviving tough times, but really about finding happiness and being present in every moment. Marcus Aurelius gave us a meaningful reminder when he said, "Remember that it is not the future or the past that troubles you, but always the present moment." This advice urges us to focus on the here and now, rather than worrying about the past or future. By concentrating on the present, we fully engage with our immediate tasks and situations, which helps decrease worries about what's to come. Mindfulness, a key aspect of Stoic practice, requires actively noticing our surroundings, feelings and thoughts without passing judgment. This mindfulness keeps us grounded in the present, helping us escape the constant cycle of worry and guesswork that can fog our thinking. It teaches us to value the current moment, whether it's made up of simple everyday tasks or more intricate activities, discovering richness and fulfillment right in the here and now. Epictetus stressed the importance of focusing on the present with his guidance. Don't wish for events to unfold as you desire. Instead, accept them as they occur, and your life will be smoother. This idea highlights the Stoic view that true peace comes from adapting our wishes to match reality, instead of hoping for reality to change. Additionally, the concept of mindfulness is echoed in the broader teachings of Aristotle and Plato, who also emphasized the significance of being present. Aristotle discussed virtuous action, which calls for mindfulness in our actions and choosing those that reflect virtue at the moment. Plato, meanwhile, believed that real knowledge and happiness are achieved by engaging deeply with the present reality to understand the truth beyond what we see. Mindfulness can be developed through easy yet powerful methods. Spending a few minutes every day to meditate, either by focusing on your breathing or the feelings within your body, can improve your ability to remain in the present moment. Likewise, when you immerse yourself completely in activities like eating, walking, or talking without getting distracted by phones or computers, you can better appreciate what's happening right now and feel less stressed. This focus on the present isn't about ignoring what will happen in the future. Instead, it's about training ourselves to pay attention in such a way that we handle our current tasks more effectively and thoughtfully, which, in turn, readies us for future challenges. Practicing mindfulness helps us live our lives more fully, with fewer unnecessary worries, and allows us to relish the beauty of the present moment more deeply. Such practices from Stoicism not only boost our own happiness, but also enhance how we interact and contribute to the world, making us more considerate and empathetic people. Marcus Aurelius once wrote a reminder that is very relevant today. Life is brief, that's the essence. Make the most of the present with thoughtfulness and fairness. This reflects a fundamental Stoic idea to make the most of the present, not for selfish pleasures, but in a meaningful and deliberate way. We live in what's called a delayed return environment. This idea is quite modern, but it echoes ancient Stoic teachings. Basically, the decisions we make now might not show their effects right away. This gap between our actions and their results can make many of us feel anxious. You might work hard today, but you won't see the rewards of your efforts for a while, maybe weeks, months, or even years. This is where Stoicism comes in handy. It teaches us to concentrate on what we do each day and make sure it matches up with our long-term aims and principles. Consider something as simple as going for a walk. It's not just about getting exercise. From a Stoic perspective, it's about thinking and being mindful, helping to clear your mind so you can focus better on what's happening now. Cooking a healthy meal does more than feed your body. It's an act of self-care and respect, a practical way to live out Stoic values of treating yourself well and kindly. Pursuing a hobby does more than pass the time. It helps you grow personally and find joy, keeping you anchored in the present and easing worries about what might come later. Marcus Aurelius didn't just talk about his beliefs. He lived them, both in his role as a leader and in his private life. He wrote down his thoughts in a diary, which later became his famous book, Meditations. These writings were his way of examining his own actions and experiences, a method of staying mindful and focused on his own growth, which helped him stay stable despite the pressures of leading an empire. Similarly, Seneca advises us to hold on to our philosophical beliefs firmly once we've fully considered them, as if they were sacred orders. He warns us not to let any chaos pull these beliefs away from us. This encourages us to stay committed to our daily habits and self-care routines, considering them crucial and unchangeable parts of our day. By focusing on taking care of ourselves today through thoughtful and fair actions, we naturally prepare for whatever the future might bring. This approach isn't about being selfish. It's about preserving and enhancing ourselves. It's about building resilience by making sure our everyday actions reflect our deepest values and dreams. By doing this, we not only improve our own lives, but also lay a groundwork that enables us to make a positive impact on others. Marcus Aurelius was a great leader who always put the safety of his people first, even during dangerous times. His decision to remain in Rome during the deadly Antonine Plague shows his dedication to caring for his people rather than saving himself. Stoicism teaches that helping others is not just a good thing to do. It's a crucial part of living a good life. According to this philosophy, Our happiness is deeply connected to the happiness of others. By being kind and helping others, we move beyond our own problems and become part of something bigger than ourselves. This approach is not only morally right, but it also helps improve both our personal lives and society as a whole. Marcus Aurelius once said, "What harms the hive is also harmful to the bee." This saying beautifully captures the Stoic idea that what's good for the group should also be good for the individual. Helping others benefits not just those we help, but ourselves too. When we focus on helping others, it takes our mind off our own issues and gives us a broader, more positive view of the world. Small or large, acts of kindness spread and strengthen our sense of community and our connection with others. Seneca highlighted this when he stated, "Every encounter with another person is a chance to show kindness." This mindset motivates us to see every interaction as a chance to make a positive difference. Participating in kind deeds and serving others can deeply improve our mental and emotional well-being. Studies in psychology agree with this old Stoic idea, showing that helping others can lessen stress and make us more satisfied with life. Aristotle, in his writings called Nicomachean Ethics, said that being virtuous involves treating others well, and that real joy comes from such noble acts that connect us with our community. So, whether you're volunteering at a local center, helping a neighbor carry groceries, or just saying a comforting word to someone upset, each act of kindness brings us closer to fulfilling our Stoic role of serving. These actions build stronger connections with people around us, creating a supportive network that not only makes our lives richer, but also helps shield us from our own worries. In this sense, helping others is more than just being selfless. It recognizes how connected we are and the part we play in each other's lives. Epictetus once said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you respond to it that counts." In terms of helping others, this means choosing to meet other people's needs with kindness and action. By doing this, we not only lighten their loads, but also nurture our own inner calm and resilience. We've already seen how Stoic wisdom isn't just about understanding history. It's about actively using it to shape a more serene and fulfilling life today. Let's dive deeper into how embracing these timeless teachings can simplify and improve our everyday experiences. One of the most powerful aspects of Stoicism is its emphasis on controlling what's within our reach. Imagine you're facing a tough day. Tasks are piling up. Everything seems to be going wrong. Instead of getting overwhelmed, Stoicism invites us to focus on what we can manage right now. This could mean taking a moment to breathe deeply or choosing to tackle one small task at a time. By concentrating on these actions, we gradually regain control and peace of mind. Now, let's talk about how this philosophy teaches us to handle our emotions. The Stoics believed that emotions like anger or sadness aren't caused by events themselves, but by how we interpret them. If we rethink our responses to challenges as opportunities to learn and grow, we transform our emotional landscape. For instance, instead of getting frustrated when something doesn't go our way, we can ask ourselves, "What can this teach me?" This shift in perspective isn't just calming, it's empowering. Moving forward, let's consider how Stoicism helps us deal with change, a constant in life that often brings anxiety. Stoics understand that change is inevitable and see it as a natural part of the universe's rhythm. When we accept that change is part of life, we can approach it with flexibility and courage rather than fear. This means when unexpected events occur, instead of panicking, we stay open and adaptable, ready to find new solutions. This leads us to the importance of living in the moment. Stoics emphasize the value of the present because it's all we truly have control over. By fully engaging with the present, not only do we enjoy life more, but we also make more thoughtful decisions. Practicing mindfulness, paying close attention to our current environment and how we're feeling, helps us cherish the now. Whether it's savoring a meal, listening intently to a friend, or observing the beauty around us, each moment becomes richer and more meaningful. As we continue to apply Stoic principles, let's not forget the power of reflection. Just like Marcus Aurelius wrote his thoughts in Meditations, we too can benefit from journaling our experiences and insights. This practice helps us clarify our thoughts, reflect on our actions, and align our daily living with our deeper values. It's a tool that not only captures our learning, but also guides our future actions. And here's something particularly relevant in today's world: minimizing distractions. In an age where digital notifications and social media constantly demand our attention, Stoicism encourages us to concentrate on what genuinely enhances our lives. It encourages us to set boundaries with technology and spend more time on activities that foster real connections and personal growth. By choosing where to direct our attention, we reclaim our time and mental space, leading to a more focused and peaceful life. To wrap up, embracing Stoic wisdom is about much more than just coping with life's challenges. It's about thriving in spite of them. It's about seeing every situation, good or bad, as a chance to practice virtue and improve ourselves. Remember, each day is a new opportunity to apply these lessons, to grow stronger, and to live a life aligned with our deepest convictions. Thank you for tuning in today to time-tested advice. Remember, the road to a calm and meaningful life is just a thought away. If you liked our exploration into the core of Stoicism today, don't miss our next video, which you can watch right here. Keep growing with us. Thanks for being a part of our community. As always, until next time.